Good afternoon. Well, actually, I'm not quite at noon, but I'm a little early, but I just had to get on here to start my Facebook Live. So you'll notice behind me, things look a little different than the normal spa business break on Thursday because I'm up here in Tofino, BC in Canada. The beauty of having a business that is online means that I get to travel when my husband needs to travel for his work. So I piggybacked on his work trip and joined him here up in Tofino. You want to see what this looks like up here? Where is the... Oh. If you haven't been to Tofino, this is what some of the beach looks like. It's absolutely gorgeous. If you ever have a chance to come up to Vancouver Island and up to Tofino, you will see this beauty here. Okay, so enough about the fun places I get to be while you guys are slogging it at the spa. I wanted to talk about customer service scripts today because customer service scripts can literally save the day. It can also save the sale in your business. Now, most of you would use scripts if you have a team, but this does not leave you out if you are possibly a new spa owner. Maybe you're struggling with how to explain things in your business to your clients. So this can be for you too. But essentially, the reason why we want to have scripts, especially with a team, is because, of course, if we've got a bunch of people working in the spa with us, everybody comes to work with their own ways of communicating, own ways of kind of their thought processes behind communicating. So you never really know, even though you vet them through the interview process, you really never know how well somebody is going to do with clients, as far as having the words roll off their tongue. And so it can be really frustrating when you have new team members if you see them struggling with how to say something, whether it's how to recommend products or how to recommend new treatments, whether it's your guest services team and maybe they don't feel really confident about how to repeat certain policies. And so what happens if they feel uncomfortable with policies and they don't have a script that just rolls off their tongue? You're liable to get an emotional response and an emotional communicative response from them with how they feel that actually should be. And it can be quite different from how you want them to be speaking to your clients. So that is why I believe in customer service scripts. And when I'm talking about customer service scripts, I don't mean that I'm saying you create these scripts and that your staff have to sound like robots. You don't want this to be sounding corporate or feeling corporate. No, that's not what I'm getting at all. We need to have some sort of scripting for our team members in order for them to get used to speaking the language you want them to speak. So that, just like everything else I've talked about here with your spa business, when it has to do with systems, customer service scripts are just another part of your operation system. And they really do save the day because you, as the owner or even your spa manager, doesn't have time to run around, keep putting out fires or reminding a staff member how to say something. So having these scripts on hand at, for your reception team, at the front desk, having scripts available in your staff rooms for your service providers, having like these little cheat sheets really does take a lot of pressure off of you as the owner. And it empowers your team to be doing their job better. And when you have a team that feels empowered to do their job, they feel more confident in the role. When they feel more confident in the role, they're able to move forward as far as their success. And that means that you don't have to waste time putting out fires. Okay, so I have 2 points I want to make. So the first piece has to do with, especially with new staff members. They often have a hard time having that script roll off their tongue right at the beginning, especially for the first few months. And so having those scripts up at your reception desk, those little cheat sheets, really helps them to be much more clear in their communication. Because let's face it, if they're unable to communicate clearly, the client is going to be either confused or irritated. But either way, unclear wording equals unclear results. So The result that you want with clients is you want them to book, you want them to rebook, you want them to purchase products, you want them to book the services that you're recommending. But if it's not really very compelling, or if it just sounds confusing, a confused mind will always say no. And you've lost either the sale at that moment, or you could quite frankly be losing the client. So definitely having scripts for your newbies is a very, very smart idea. The other point that I want to make about customer service scripts has to do with policies. And this is usually where there's some friction with team members. Like they kind of like, oh, they feel bad. A client no-shows. Your policy is to charge their credit card. Your receptionist is on the front line. They're going to have to deal with this person. And there's a huge amount of anxiety that can come up if there aren't any clear scripts for them to go off of. You're then relying on their own personal ability to handle themselves in communication. And we all know that can go terribly awry sometimes. So especially when it has to do with policies, especially when it has to do with any kind of conflict with a client, you want to have very clear scripts that give a very clear process of how the client needs to be moved through to be escalated. So, if we don't arm our reception team or our service providers, if they happen to be covering reception, if we don't arm them with those scripts for those places that could possibly bring up some conflict between the spa and the client, it's just asking for more conflict. So having those very clear scripts, if the client still doesn't like it and has a problem with it, there also needs to be a script for how to escalate the client. Because your reception team shouldn't be responsible for dealing with a client that's freaking out. But they do need to have some sort of script to tell the client, okay, I hear you. I understand that you're not happy with this. My hands are tied at this point, but I'm going to pass this information on to the owner and expect to hear a call back or an email back from her within 24 hours. That is giving the client like the heads up, like, hey, I've heard you. We're listening to you. And I know you don't like it. And then the owner can deal with it. That's the proper way to deal with conflict inside the spa with clients. So having those customer service scripts just really gives your team much more confidence about what they're saying, why they're saying it, and the process for where it goes from there. So when everybody is saying the similar things, when everybody is working in the same systems for our customers, for the guest experience, that means that you as a spa business are able to run more efficiently. You as the owner or your spa manager doesn't have to run around putting out fires to the degree that you are right now. Now, I'm not going to say that having customer service scripts and having operations manuals and staff handbooks is going to be like, you will never have a problem in your business ever with your team. That's just not reality. But what we're talking about here with systems is, and especially today with scripts, is that we're talking about mitigating more problems or mitigating it escalating any farther. That way you can just get back on track and everybody can just keep working, doing their thing in the spa. So one of the places I want you to look in your business right now is to see if you could possibly be having some customer service scripts issues. One of the places you want to look is at your client retention metrics. Now, not all of your salon spa software is going to be able to give you that metric. So if you're using Square or like just a scheduler that is not spa specific, you likely won't have those reports for client retention. But like MindBody, Booker, Millennium, Mevo, all of those have client retention reports, and you want to pull those reports to see where your retention is at. A long time ago, I don't know if it's changed, but I know a long time ago, the average retention for the spa industry and salon industry was 30%, which is abysmal. When you think about it, for every, say, 10 new clients, only 3 are returning within 3 months. Something's wrong there. That's a big red flag. That's why we need those client retention reports. And once we identify, our retention needs some work on it, that's when you can start investigating. Okay, do we have customer service scripts? Are they clear? Maybe they're unclear. Maybe we need to tweak them. Maybe we don't have any customer service scripts. So that's it's how you start identifying what needs fixing in your spa business systems. Client retention. That is essentially the report that tells you that your clients love you. So as far as where should you be with retention, you're wanting to look at about at least the 60% mark. For any newbies, and a newbie esthetician would be anybody under a year at your facility. Anybody over a year, their retention should be up like 85, 90%. If they're not up there, again, red flags. Time to start looking at what could possibly be the problem. But today we're just talking about customer service scripts. All right, if you have any questions about scripting, about mitigating more issues in your spa business, if you are needing support making things like scripts or handbooks, operations manual, I'm your girl. My focus is spa business systems and making your life at work much, much easier. Okay, that's it for me for today's Spa Business Break. I'm going to go down to the beach for a little bit longer just to tease you guys. All right, there's plenty of times where I'm stuck in my office and I see a lot of your posts, so I'm just teasing you back. All right, guys, thanks for joining me for today's Spa Business Break, and I will be back next Thursday, but I'll be back in my office, the usual. See you then. Bye.